Well, I've got the horns replaced now. Here's the old ones, the old junkers. One worked, one didn't. Well, I say one barely worked, not very well. These are these old cheapo plastic Spartan horns. And the horns that I put on here, didn't really show them to you, but they're there. They're big old monsters. Those are from a 1963 Buick LeSabre. I found that in a junkyard a while back, and I decided the rest of the car was trash, but the horns were still there. I thought, well, why not? You know, take a chance, see if they'll work. And sure enough, they did work. Imagine that, 50-year-old horns work, and the ones that are newer quit. Of course, those are all metal. It's probably got something to do with it. Of course, they're antique vintage horns, and that's probably got a lot to do with it. But they do work well. I'll tell you something about horns, you younger folks, younger than me. The horn on a car used to be used for a lot more than it is now. Of course, right now it's just mainly used to blast it at somebody that cuts you off or does something else bad to you, perceived as bad when you're in traffic, along with giving them the finger. You know, that's about all the horn's used for now. But way back when, believe it or not, cars used to be, when you went into a filling station, a gas station, you didn't actually have to get out of your vehicle and pump the gas like you do now, while the big old fat attendant sits in there and looks at you. Used to be the service was full service. You pull in and get your windshield washed, your oil checked, gas put in, tires checked, things like that. And sometimes you'd have to blow your horn to, you know, let them know you were there if they were busy or something like that. People used to do that. And then back when most of the roads were two-lane, anytime you're going to overtake someone, which means you're going to pass them, you blipped the horn before you swung out to pass them, and that just let them know you were back there and going to pass. And sometimes you flashed your lights or something like that, but that all went by the wayside now. But that's what used to happen. Sometimes people would honk their horn when they got to intersections, like four-way intersections or crossroads or something like that. People just blew the horn for anything back then. So circa 1963, it's nothing amazing, but this is what you would probably hear when somebody blew the horn. Sorry for the silly camera angle. This camera I've got is kind of, it don't do too good at sitting up by itself sometimes. Whoops. Alright, let's go test it out here, shall we? So there you have it, the vintage 1963 horns. Now back in operation. And I don't have the other headlight bucket put on yet because I've got to take and replace this battery tray. I've got one to go in. You can see this one's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So it's got two bolts that come in the front here, and it's got two, I think, that are under the fender well there. So I'm going to see if I can hack along and get those out and replace that. Just a nice pleasant afternoon of doing some tinkering here, getting the old truck where I want it, and then I'll switch on to something else. But definitely have to replace that. That's anytime the engine's running, I can see this thing is just sitting here just shaking, and plus with that clutch being as bad as it is, it shudders, and so yeah. So that's up next. See you guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.